Hello everybody, my name is David. Thank you for watching CNXG. Today is another C-PTSD video, and I have a long playlist of C-PTSD videos for you guys to watch. Please go to my playlist and watch that. If you guys are suffering from narcissistic abuse, you've been with a narcissist for a while and you're suffering from this, then most likely you have C-PTSD. So if you've been watching them, you know that I talk a lot about meeting our emotional needs. And it's a must. It's a must, okay? And that's usually why we get into this kind of trouble, because we aren't meeting our emotional needs. So I talk about it a lot, and you guys are like, what the hell are emotional needs? What does he mean? What is he really saying? What's he talking about? Instead of me just saying it, I'm going to kind of try and just specify a little more on what I mean when I say that. What it is. What are our emotional needs? How do we meet them? I've made videos about emotional needs, what they are. So please watch those. Those are in the playlist of C-PTSD. And if we're in relationships with abusive people, then we are not meeting our emotional needs at all, okay? And how do we learn to meet our emotional needs? How is that? What's that normal, natural process? Well, we learn to meet our emotional needs because our caretakers meet them. So starting right at infancy, our caretakers meet our needs throughout our childhood, and eventually we take over because that's the natural thing to do, to have our needs met. And eventually we start meeting our own needs because it's just a natural thing to do. It's a natural way of living and feeling. If we have our needs met throughout our childhood and then it stops, it's a horrible, horrible feeling. But what we did is we didn't have attention, the right amount of attention to our feelings, to our emotions. Okay? And what happens is when the focus is taken off of that, off of the child's feelings, then we try to do it as well. We try to ignore our feelings. Okay? They're teaching us to do that. Our parents are teaching us to do that. Now, I'm going to tell you later what I'm talking about, because I'm not trying to tell anybody that your parents are bad people. Okay? If your caretakers didn't meet your emotional needs, then that's the way it was. Okay? That needs to be addressed. You need to realize this. Please don't shut this off and just say, my parents are awesome. I had a great childhood. I had clothes and school, everything I could possibly need. That's not emotional needs. Emotional needs are different. We have physical needs and we have emotional needs, and they must be met. If we do not meet either of them, we are sick. Okay? So there are lots and lots of emotional needs, and I made a video about them and I listed tons of them, okay? But we tend to focus on about 10 throughout our lives. They're a little bit different between men and women, and they change from childhood to adulthood. Okay, so I'm going to read what are typical 10 emotional needs for children. Okay, and that's being feelings of accepted, forgiven, cared about, and free, in control, loved, safe, supported, trusted and believed in, understood, value, special. Okay, these are things that children need to feel, and by doing that you meet their emotional needs. These are needs that a children has that a caretaker must provide for that child. Okay, if the child does not have their needs met, they are sick. Okay, you're raising a sick child. Adults, like I said, adults have a little bit different needs. Here's some 10 basic adult needs: accepted, appreciated, valued, cared about, free, in control, helpful, needed, useful, productive, safe, supported, trusted, and understood. These are some 10 common emotional needs that we need to meet ourselves as adults. So, like I said before, if we ignore our needs, we are sick. So, doing this now, like that's how we learn to. And if we didn't learn to, we are now not meeting our emotional needs. And I'm telling you to start doing that. So you're going to start doing that, I hope. Now, doing this isn't easy. Okay? It's not. We don't like change. Change is uncomfortable. We resist change. Okay? If you do not change, if you keep not meeting your needs and not paying attention to them and paying attention to others, you are going to constantly keep doing this. And it doesn't have to be with a narcissist. If you do not meet your needs, your emotional needs, you cannot have functional relationships with other people. They will fail. You can't just meet other people's needs, and you can't just try to meet needs in a relationship. You need to meet and learn how to meet your own needs yourself. Okay? This is a thought pattern. We're conditioned to do this since childhood. This is not going to be easy, but we change thought patterns by changing behaviors. So the very act of meeting our needs is what we need to do, and it teaches us how to do it, and then it becomes, after a while, it becomes comfortable. Then it becomes the only way to live because it's the normal way we're supposed to, and then we aren't sick anymore. We are healthy. Okay? To meet our own needs, we must feel worthy. We must, and here's just a general thing to kind of get you to understand. You know, we talk about boundaries, and boundaries are telling somebody, you know, you can't do that, please stop, that hurts, that doesn't feel good, it needs to stop now. And we give them a chance to do that, and if they don't do that, then we do it. We remove ourselves. That's meeting an emotional need. You need to feel worthy enough to do this, okay? So you need to feel worthy enough to meet your needs. And this is what I'm talking about. If you're in a relationship and you have a boundary, it's not just telling someone to step back. Whoa, that's uncomfortable. Please step back. It's also about asking someone to please step forward. I love you. I need reassurance. Please do this for me. You have to feel worthy enough to do that. Okay? Narcissists don't. They try to lie, manipulate, and do whatever they can to get you to do what they want, right? So we need to feel worthy enough to do both. And these things are new to us, so it's awkward and it is uncomfortable as hell at first. Okay? But you get used to it real quick. You get used to it real quick because it's natural. Just not natural to us. But once we do something the correct way, it just, you know, everything works out better for us. Okay? So I have an example. Now, if you're a child in a traumatic home, your needs can't be met. That kind of traumatic home means, you know, there's all kinds of different expectations on you, I'm sure. A child in a traumatic home, now when I say traumatic home, maybe the father is abusive to the mother in front of the child. Now that child cannot have their needs met. Not by the father, not by the mother. The mother is sick. The mother doesn't meet her needs. The father doesn't meet his needs. They do not meet their own needs. And they're in an abusive, dysfunctional, toxic relationship, and the child pays for that. Okay? The child cannot have their needs met, and they're not focusing on their needs. They might be expected to shut up, be quiet, don't cause a problem, or may even be expected, you must be the strong one for me. A mother might look at the child and say, please, please be happy. Be the one that's happy. Please be the one that's there for me. Please be the rock. Please be there, you know. And so the mother's getting the child to meet the needs. The child is not meeting their needs at all, right? So a less extreme example is I read an article the other day, and I'm going to put the article, a link to the article down in the description box below because I really like this article. I really liked it. It's a swimming teacher who teaches swimming classes for children. She has had enough. She has children in the pool she's giving lessons to. The parents bring their take their child to get swimming lessons. They sit at the side of the pool to support their child. But what are they doing? Sitting there looking down on the phone the whole time. All of them. The whole time. The teacher's sick of it. She's working with the children, and the children need their emotional needs met. The children are saying, Mom, Dad, you know, look at me, look what I'm doing. No, nothing. Could you imagine being that teacher and seeing this all day? I couldn't do it. I couldn't take it. Just hello, look at your child. That's neglect, guys. That's massive neglect. Now, physical needs met. Emotional needs are more important. They're more important than physical needs. Child can't do any good getting food, water, shelter, and all this if it's not loved, cared for, supported, all these things. It doesn't matter. Okay? So I'm going to put the link to the article down there if you guys are interested in reading it. I thought it was really good. I'm really proud of that teacher for standing up to this, even if it meant that her business is at risk, her income. That's amazing. I'm glad it made the news, you know, because people need to see this, man. If you have to shame someone into being a good parent, go ahead. because I'm sorry later doesn't work. You know, we need to love our children. We need to meet our own needs. And if you want to be a parent, you cannot be a good parent unless you're a good person. You have to be a healthy person and meet your needs to be a good parent to the child. So you can start meeting the child's needs. If you don't know how to meet your needs, you can't meet a child's needs. I hope that makes sense. And we don't meet other people's needs for them. They meet their needs. We meet our own needs. In a relationship, there are separate needs. Okay? I hope I helped you understand more than confused you. I know this can be confusing, but I think you guys understand. I think it's the doing it is very difficult at first. But I promise you, this is the key to happiness. This is the key to feeling in control and safety and security. Once you start meeting your needs, you don't have fears all over the place you're trying to ignore anymore. Okay? It feels great. This is the cause of anxiety, stuff like this. I can't handle this. I can't do this. I'm afraid of tomorrow. I'm afraid of what someone will do. You won't have these anymore if you're really good at meeting your emotional needs, okay? Everything falls into place. Life is great. And you become pretty much impervious to these people that just want to take from you. Because you don't want to give all the time anymore. Hope that makes sense. Thank you guys very much. Any questions you have, always please go down below and ask me and I'll answer them. And love yourself first. See you later. Bye-bye.